Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to get up for this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't seem like they didn't get up for this. Listen, what's funny about this Texans game is that the defense actually really stepped
right.
up.
I mean, it goes back to everything we've talked about all year long.
The defense is there,
we
man.
can't play complimentary football. We can't.
Defense is there, and we just and listen.
I think Stroud had like 120 yards passing.
Dude,
They maybe had 200 yards of offense.
They didn't do shit. And one of their scores at the end was because of the pick.
Right.
Like the pick toward the end of the half. It's like, listen, I've been giving Tua his flowers the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And he's been amazing these last few weeks, but he
last
absolutely deserves to get dunked on this week.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Tranquilo Sports Talk. We are here, and we don't really have much to talk about the Fins today, but we are here, and we are doing our job to do it for the people.
Yeah, we put ourselves through torture every year, and it seems like this year is no different. So we are here.
Yeah, no, we're here. I mean, I wish we can have a little bit more hype behind, the Fins going into 3 weeks left into the season. But, I mean, here we are. I mean, I'm sure you can go listen to last year's episode this same time, same year, and we're pretty much in the same temperature. Maybe actually a little bit better, actually.
No, we're way worse.
This year we're worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying.
At least last year we
made the playoffs.
We made the playoffs.
Yeah.
We went to the playoffs, electric. We were there, coldest game. This year stinks.
That's true.
This year stinks.
Yeah.
Because what even makes it even worse than last year, outside of the fact, obviously, we're not going to the playoffs, is the fact that our expectations were way higher this year than they were even last year.
Yeah.
And they were decently high last year.
Yeah.
This year, my expectations were through the roof, and that's my fault. That's my fault.
We should have lowered our expectations the moment Reek got arrested right outside of Dolphins Stadium.
I thought that would have been the spark we needed. But it was not. It was quite the opposite.
It was a curse all year.
It was a curse
all year because it was that, and then it was Tua gets hurt, and then obviously the rest is history.
Yeah.
And we had a glimpse of hope, like Cam Wolf likes to say. We were on the hopium train.
Yes, we were.
It's a dangerous game to play because I don't want to have hope. I want to actually have something good go on.
I want to have confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to have confidence. My hopium is officially out.
It's out. I mean, I have a little bit left. I
don't know how. There's
still like an IV on me, and I'm like kind of like limping on that hopium.
There's no scenario. I wish I was. The hope has just been ripped out.
It's very fake hope, but it's hope. I know the season's over, but when you want to play the math game, there's still a chance.
Technically, yes. Until there's an E, but the fact is we'd have to again win out, which we said this 2 weeks ago, and we already lost twice since then.
Yep.
It's we'd have to win out, and the Chargers lose out, and
the Chargers need to lose 2 of 3,
and then the Colts lose 1,
or Broncos lose out,
and
Colts need to lose 1. So it's an or between the between the Broncos
Honestly,
and Chargers.
The best bet is
and
the
then
Chargers,
hands with
to
the
be
Colts.
honest. The best bet because the Chargers have a harder schedule, I think, than
the Broncos got a tough stretch. The Chargers actually have an easy one after the Broncos this week because they play the Patriots and the Raiders.
I know, but I don't know. The Chargers, the wheels feel like they're kind of falling off as well.
I agree.
As opposed to the Broncos, they just keep winning. Like, they cannot stop winning.
We'll know what to root for at this point next week when
it's at least they're on the road.
Assuming that we win,
because now we have to root for Denver. Like, I'm rooting for Denver now.
Yeah,
like Denver's playing the Chargers on Thursday.
Yeah.
So if the Chargers lose that game,
right,
then they just have to lose one of their 2 last games, and they're both away games. One in New England and one in Vegas.
And they're gonna play. Someone's gonna play spoiler there.
Someone's got to play spoiler. But then we still have to play the freaking Rams this week. The Niners this weekend.
Yeah, which is like, Mike McDaniel's kind of not redemption tour. I mean, he did lose to the 49ers earlier in his career, but when he was with the Fins. But I mean, it's a coming out party for Mike and this whole offense after a terrible week.
I don't even know how I don't know how they're gonna get up. Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna get up for this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't seem like they didn't get up for this. Listen, what's funny about this Texans game is that the defense actually really stepped up.
I mean, it goes back to everything we talked about all year long.
The defense was there, man.
We can't play complimentary football. We can't.
The defense was there, and we just and listen.
I think Stroud had like 120 yards passing.
Dude,
they maybe had 200 yards of offense.
They didn't do shit. One of their scores at the end was because of the pick.
Right.
Like the pick toward the end of the half. It's like, listen, I've been giving Tua his flowers the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And he's been amazing these last few weeks, but he absolutely deserves to get dunked on this week, to be honest. I mean, he was awful. Like, 2 of his picks were really bad.
Yeah.
Like, really bad. Like, the first one specifically was like, who is he going to? And supposedly, like, Reek didn't accept it. It's like, but dude, you're throwing to somebody. There's no one there. Like, and I get it. I guess it's a timing, but like, dude, it looks so bad. And the last one is like, partially on him, partially on Reek. Sure, he could have led Reek. It would have been easier. Reek still had his 2 hands on it, and it got ripped out of his hand. So it's kind of a mix and match. It was his worst game of the season by far. That and the Bills game, I guess, until he got hurt. But that was the worst performance he had for sure, and the offense in general. I mean, again, the only person who does anything is Jonnu Smith. Like, he is literally our offense.
Yeah,
the GOAT.
It's one of those. It's. I mean, yes. When Tua plays like that, it's gonna be hard to win games. Like, there's no doubt about it, right? Yeah. But I think there's a couple points to make out of it, right? The first point is that Mike's system is extremely vulnerable to defenses that are well coached, that know where to put guys in the right places, right? Because the way this system works is Tua goes through his reads, and he's got to get the ball out quick, and he's anticipating a guy to be in a certain spot, and he's just going to throw the ball there, right? Which, obviously, it's worked, but it doesn't work against really well-coached defense. And that's what's infuriating, is because guys like Houston coach will be able to find they know how to figure them out. It's very one-dimensional in that approach.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind that
he's been figured out since like week 8 of last year,
and he doesn't adjust. He hasn't adjusted.
Then you can't run the ball.
This week was already an uphill battle. We're going in with 3 of our tackles not even playing. Right, that doesn't help. Yeah. You're playing against 2 very good defensive ends, but like, he doesn't change anything. No. Nothing has changed. Like, this entire season, we're still running a ton of screens and we're running. It seems like the same offense. Like,
this week, bro.
Like, it's he doesn't change anything up, and again, it's like, people have just kind of figured us out, and we haven't done anything to adjust to it. And we can keep beating up on these bad teams, but like,
it's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. Nothing happens. Like, if you can't beat a good team, then what's the point?
Right.
Like, the Rams are the only good team that we've beaten.
Question
in the audience.
Yeah.
Not a question, a statement.
Statement in the crowd.
Obviously, I'm not protecting Tua.
Fire Greer.
Terrible game. But I think I saw a tweet and I saw a video of a guy, and it's like, it's crazy. Like, how does Tua have time to like read a defense if he only has 3 seconds when he gets the play to actually get the ball snapped?
The thing is with my anti-defense to that is that there's quarterbacks that have less time than him. Like watch guys.
Like, not so much like time in the pocket, like time before he actually snaps the ball. Like,
that I agree with. And a lot of it falls on Mike. That falls on Mike.
Like, as a quarterback, scan the defense real quick and then make, like, he's getting on the line snapping, and he's like, I'm gonna guess where this defense is instead of any time. Like, 10 seconds, you can
Right, to actually read.
And that's part of Mike. That's Mike's fault. That's Mike's fault.
It's not even so much the time in the pocket. It's the time pre-snap.
Right.
Dude, since last year, you think it would have been improved, but dude, there's times where we're using timeouts in a close game in the fourth quarter because we can't.
Yeah, we did it. We did it this week.
Did it this week
on fourth down. We did it on fourth down.
It goes to the system. That's on Mike. That's on Mike. That's on Mike more than anybody.
Not to defend Tua, but it's someone's guys, don't you realize this guy, yeah, it's anticipation because he gets the line. He has to guess when he doesn't have time to read his defense before he even snaps the ball.
Yeah.
He has to snap and be I'm guessing cover 3 here.
Yeah. Listen,
and then DeMarco Ryan is a beast. He had safeties instead of playing.
Everyone.
Coverage, and that's where they did their.
They know we're gonna run that same route that we've run a million times, and they're gonna just plug someone in there. And Tua's gonna try to look someone off with his eyes, but it's not gonna work when they know where exactly you're gonna go.
I was watching other games. You see a quarterback they have 15 seconds.
And it felt like the agenda was to feed Reek in that game. That was it. And
that's it. Once Waddle went down, it was feed Reek and Jonnu. That was it. That's all. But that's all we have.
Yeah.
That's all we have. We can get Malik
There was
more
a play that
involved,
Craycraft looked like he was open on the Tua picks.
But he's only feeding Reek. He's
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Right off the rip, he was covered, and then he got loose at the end. But by that time,
Yeah, exactly.
That right tackle, I think he graded a 20.
No, yeah.
You
can't blame the guy.
The entire line was atrocious.
Besides Patrick Paul actually played.
Yeah,
he played well.
And listen, Brewer was not good in this game. He didn't have a great game. I mean, then you look at Eichenberg.
Eichenberg had a rough game.
The return, dude. Oh my God, bro. He was so bad.
Yeah.
Everyone was bad. The entire O-line was bad.
Everything on the offense was bad.
The receivers were bad. Everyone except, I kid you not, Johnny Smith. Johnny Smith is the only.
Yeah.
McDaniel was terrible. McDaniel has been outcoached in a lot of these games, this year. He's been like you're saying, dude, figure it out, long play, but he's been doing that forever, and it's infuriating that he can't fix it. The clock management is also not just ideal.
Yeah.
It's just it's just bad. It's a mess, and our season's over. I don't we can sugarcoat this season's over. It's time to reset, reboot. I don't think we can win with this team. I don't. I don't think. I'm actually fully on the train of blowing it up. You're gonna have to keep Tua. There's nothing and we can win with Tua. I still think Tua's a top 12 quarterback. Right. I do. You can win with him, but this system is as much as it's helped him and he's looked great in it at times. It's just we need to change something up and change the approach. We need to change the approach of this team. We need, and granted, I don't think they're going to fire Mike. I don't think. I think Mike's got at least another year.
Yeah.
But he's got to do something in terms of one. I mean, first off, if that or we just got to bring in, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and it's you got to find a middle ground, which is hard, obviously, but Flores, for as bad as he was, and I think he set back this franchise a few years, to be honest, he is the too extreme of the toughness scale, right? Mm-hmm. That he, called great games on the defense. You see it now in Minnesota. He's calling the defense is completely turned around there. But he was openly sabotaging Tua, and he does not get along with a lot of people, right?
Right.
But then you got Mike, who, granted his system has got us to a place where, we made the playoffs back-to-back years, things like that. The offense was gelling. But he's almost he's like the meme. He's the chill guy. He's you know what I mean? We need somebody to also have discipline, but also not be a dick. That, you know what I mean? I guess there's middle ground.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, I mean, look at the, Campbells, the Tomlins, the Harbaughs.
Andy Reid.
Dude, but they play a hard-nosed brand of football. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't. We are speed. We are, flash. We're on the offensive side. That's what we are. And then defense, we're kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
You got the Ramseys, our DBs Vaughn, and they're all these fast, athletic guys. And we don't have any linebackers that are here gonna break heads.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get it's kind of a generic thing, but at the end of the day, you need a tone shift. From what I've seen, it just seems they're so lax and they're all flash and no substance.
Yeah.
And you see the teams that are good, and even the Kansas Cities, right? Kansas City obviously they got Mahomes and they were with the Reeks and stuff, but they were are deep in the trenches. Their defense plays hard nose, and it's I I don't know. I just don't see that from our team. Like
No.
we play a softer brand of football.
And
we're
what
flash.
the big thing too also with this team, and I think it has to do with that as well, is we can't play a complimentary football game.
No,
when the defense
we make a lot of mistakes.
No, and when the defense is the problem when you record outside, it starts drizzling on you. Hopefully it doesn't pour.
Yeah.
But the big thing is like the defense plays well one game, the offense doesn't, right? The offense plays well one game, the defense doesn't. You can't find like a middle ground.
By the way, special teams again
with this team.
The special teams too, like
yeah.
With that 4th down, fake punt, and then Sanders, who's been great, misses an extra point
2 weeks in a row.
So at that point, then even if we score, we have to go for 2. It's just like it's always something with this team, and it's just the mistakes they pile on, and we will never win like that.
We beat ourselves. That's just an
we'll never win like that. You need to build this team from the trenches. We've got, we're sticking with Tua for at least a couple more years. Soon.
I don't see how you move on.
We've got Waddle. I don't think we're gonna move off Waddle. Now it's really coming down. This is the gods right here telling us. He's like,
this is the gods right here. Well, we're back, and it rains for like a solid 20 seconds. But we're back. We thought we were going to have to move indoors, but we figured it out.
Yeah.
We can't play complimentary football.
No, we can't play complimentary football. Something new. But here's the thing. Like, I don't know how different the team's going to look next year. I know the guys I think that will be here, it's still going to be Tua. It's going to be Achane.
Yeah.
It's going to be Waddle. Probably still Reek. Like, I don't know. Like, unless we trade him. Like, Jonnu for sure. Jonnu should have an extension in his mailbox by tomorrow.
I'm fine with keeping Brewer 100%.
Keep Brewer. Armstead's gone, most likely. Patrick Paul's obviously staying.
Yeah, Patrick Paul's staying.
We need a draft.
And then you got to go get guards.
We got Chop, who's looking great.
Great.
Who knows what happens with Phillips? Chubb's probably gone. Calais is gone.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens with
another interior guy.
Who knows what happens with Vaughn? Poyer's probably gone.
You got to figure out the linebacker situation.
Figure out the linebackers. Fuller and Ramsey are still going to be here unless we trade Ramsey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's like this team could look very different, and
Fuller,
in terms of the build, it's just like build the trenches and give me a big receiver. Like, that's kind of what I want. That's.
But why do we bench that guy from Seattle? That guy Dodson. Like, he played all right. Why do we?
I don't know.
He probably still hasn't learned enough of the defense yet. I don't know. Even though apparently it's very similar to what they were running in Seattle, but I don't know. I mean, the defense again. The defense played fine. Honestly, I have nothing to rip about the defense this week at all.
The defense.
They forced turnovers.
Yeah, they deserve their flowers this week. They played great. They kept us in the game. That game we should not have even been in.
No.
And they kept us in the game single-handedly. And then it's, of course, the offense is just like, oh.
One last point, though, about this team, and it has nothing to do with the defense, though. But how come every other team can win games with their quarterbacks playing average to even mediocre sometimes, yet threw 5 interceptions? Yeah,
hard-nosed team. That's a hard-nosed team. And
they
run the rock like hell.
We can't.
And their team, look at the Lions are a perfect example in terms of, obviously, they just lost to the Bills. But, like, they're depleted.
Yeah.
Like, they are losing people left and right.
No Montgomery
and they are
now.
still, like, in every game the Buffalo game was, like, still one score. They scored at the end. But, like, still in that game. And they're, they are just, it's the coaching. It's the culture. Everyone's bought in. It's just, like, it doesn't seem like our guys are bought in. I swear to God. These guys don't.
You know what? That's felt like that for a long time here.
Yeah. At least last year, it seemed like they were having fun because we were winning.
Yeah.
But then the second things get going tough, like, not that they give up, but like they just look like they get pushed around.
Yeah.
And like again, like the defense, I thought played great this game, 100%. But like the last couple weeks, the amount of missed tackles we've had, and like
maybe it's just a lack of confidence going in week to week that they don't just trust, what maybe the game plan is because.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that falls onto coaching.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's
most of the
coaching
season is
on
Mike. Like this is absolutely on Mike and Greer, by the way, which I don't. Here's my thing. I don't think Greer makes it past this year.
I don't see how
I think they fire Greer.
But then you got to have a GM that believes in Mike McDaniel as well, believes into...
not necessarily.
He's apparently going to not hire, but he's going to interview for the Jets one.
Yeah. The thing with... I still think no matter what, you bring in a new GM and they give these guys 1 year. And if they don't win a playoff game, it's a clean house. Like they will
But I think that's the case with Greer or without...
No, but I would rather him gone. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Greer, he's had his ups and downs. He's had his bright lights, right? like this year, right? Bringing in John New, drafting Chop.
In terms of what the ultimate success is, he hasn't achieved it.
No, he hasn't. So it's time to move on from him and then see Mike's got one more year. Like, although we just extended him, I think that he's essentially got one more year.
I agree.
There's too much noise and too much happening. And unless we're like, by the way, if we like lose out, like he actually might be gone this year. Like
I mean, when we were talking about it a few weeks ago, that's the only scenario where I thought it was hypothetically possible, is if we just lost out.
Yeah.
And just had a brutal ending to the season. Yeah. But I mean, look, it's 3 more weeks. We'll evaluate the Dolphins again in 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're in this spot. But yeah, I mean, season's not over, but it is over.
Feels over.
Yeah, it definitely feels over. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a long off season. We'll let these 3 weeks pan out. Golf will distract us for about 8 months or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
golf and cats, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And the cats. And but it sucks to be in this spot, man.
Yeah,
it
sucks.
We needed a Super Bowl before 30. You still got a little more time. I'll be 30 by the next start of the season.
I've got 1 year. I turned 29 in a month.
True. So I got
1 season. I got 1 season left.
And technically, hypothetically, by your birthday, actually, it would be still the regular season or playoff time.
Yeah.
So
technically,
by next Super Bowl, you'll be 32.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. What a shame.
Why?
Unfortunate. All right. Well, that does it for the Dolphins.
Yeah,
I'm just getting depressed. Yeah.
We play the Niners this week.
We play the Niners this week.
I'm
not gonna even.
It's 2 teams that are free falling. It's like it's a collision course at the bottom. Like,
if we win, maybe we're back.
If we win, it's back on.
If we win, my sense of hopium will increase by like 2%.
If we win this week, and the Chargers lose on Thursday,
the Colts lose.
And we're back.
If the Colts lose this week and we win this week, my hopium's like at 20%. I'm not gonna lie.
The Chargers are more because we need them to lose 2. And this is a game for them. That's fine.
They need to lose. I'm not so. The Colts have like a super easy fucking stretch.
Yeah.
So if they mind me, Anthony Richardson looked terrible, bro. I root for the guy, but goddamn, he looked bad this week.
They're bad.
Yeah, our hopium. You'll find out next week how we're feeling.
Woo!
We might not even talk about the Dolphins if we lose next week. I'll tell you that much.
It's gonna be Christmas, so we're like, all right, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. Let's get into some college football.
Yes.
So big news out of FIU today, actually, a few hours ago. I want to say.
A few hours ago.
Keon is pulling himself out of the transfer portal and will be staying with FIU.
Yes, huge news. Keon, obviously coming off a good year, had a couple ups and downs a little bit in the middle, but he especially toward the end, he really came into form and he's a baller. Like he still has that playmaking ability and maybe with this new coaching staff we can even bring out more out of him.
I don't see why not.
We just got to keep some more pieces. I do think that's the start of a lot of guys sticking around. I wouldn't
when
be
your
shocked.
starting quarterback comes back, I mean that's just that's huge.
I wouldn't be shocked if Dean Patterson comes back. Eric Rivers most likely is gone.
Yeah. Which respect that.
Respect that. I mean, listen, like the guy just had an insane year, and the who's going after him, like it's crazy. Like I think he's at Penn State right now, or he's going to Penn State this week. He met with Miami. He met with Georgia or something. Like he's gonna get thrown the bag, and he deserves the bag. So congrats to him. If he would stay, it would be incredible. But I find that hard to believe. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I like the fact that Keon's back. It's our quarterback, our leader on the offense, and then hopefully some guys follow suit.
New OC too, though, right?
New OC, yeah, we're gonna get. It hasn't been official, but they did say it's most likely this guy from UAB.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing's official yet. But I like, I've liked again everything Willie's been doing, and I think he's talking about a culture guy. Like he seems like he fits that role.
Mm-hmm.
That hard nosed, like brown, like what's it called? It's like the
blue collar.
Not blue collar. It's like the hard nosed, like I don't know, brand of football. So yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
but yeah.
Obviously,
let's see what happens.
I'm sure we felt great about Mac when he came in.
And listen, Mac did
Mac did a good job too. I mean, a couple plays go his way throughout the season this past year, and maybe he's still around. But I do think that this, especially after a lot of things that happened towards the end of this season, if it felt like the right time. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. I'm excited, and that's what you need. You need excitement going into the year, and then obviously now recruits and transfer portal will be huge for FIU. So another step in the right direction with a guy like Keon coming back, and we'll see what other dominoes kind of fall from this.
Facts.
Now, college football playoffs?
Yes, but before that, we have to announce I have officially lost. I have officially lost college football. The Army-Navy game was an absolute nightmare. I had that under in the bag, and they blew it at the end. So I think I lost by like 4 points or something. But Pooch almost blew it, by the way.
He did.
Pooch was an under away from like neither one of us losing.
Yeah.
Like there's a world that Pooch.
I know, got close.
We went 0-3 because he had Army first half loss, Army full game loss, and then he was just luckily on the over. So I'm officially your loser for that. So yeah, I gotta rep some Canes stuff coming
break
up.
there at the end,
dude. I know. I thought I had it, dude.
Canes gear next week for Dave.
I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah, close enough, but not close.
No.
So he will be repping that, and yeah, we still got a couple weeks for NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's talk some college football playoffs. That starts this week.
Yeah, very excited. I'm loving. I love the games this weekend. I think we've got a few really good matchups. That Ohio State Tennessee one, I think is going to be really good.
That's going to be a great one.
I think the Indiana Notre Dame game is also going to be very good.
Could be sneaky good.
I think Penn State should probably take care of business at home against SMU, and I expect kind of the same thing with Texas. But who knows? Anything can happen. It's
that game.
Those are two teams that they're in. Everyone's expecting them to be pretty easy exits, and they're going to come out like hell on fire.
Oh, 100%.
So those guys are going to give it their all. But I really like the Tennessee Ohio State game and Indiana Notre Dame. I think are going to be really good. And let's see. Like I think we got some good games in the bowl season. Bowl season's a bit more like crazy nowadays with the transfer portal and all that. So like you always have to check like who's playing and things like that. But always a pleasure. It's always fun. It's 100%. Always a good time. So I love the bowl season. It's awesome. So.
Yeah. The game that's interesting to me, honestly, is that Texas Clemson game.
Really? I think Texas are going to kill them. Maybe not kill them, but I think they should
I'm
win.
rooting for Texas, obviously.
They should win.
You know, I really think they should win. But it's something about the way they've been playing lately. And I don't know, with all these rumors around Quinn right now and what's going to happen with him.
I want them to put Arch. I want Arch.
I would oh, my God, I would love that more than anything. If that happens, then I won't feel so. But
sick.
It's more about the way he's playing and just the way Texas has just not been super dominant. I don't think they have a win against a ranked team all year.
No, they don't.
This year.
So they're only
hypothetically, this is it. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to expect out of this Texas team. I think they have all the talent in the world and they should win this team. But you're going against a program in Texas, right? That really hasn't been in the spot. They haven't beat a ranked team all year, and you're going against a guy in Dabo that kind of
they snuck in,
but he knows how to win late in seasons, and he knows what the playoff atmosphere is like. He's won games on the big games on the road, right? So, like, there's where I'm like, can Dabo actually pull this off? What will be? I don't know what the spread's like in that game right now.
11.
It's 11. Wow. Yeah. You know what would be a really big upset?
Let's see if they changed it. But my thing is, I think the difference maker in that game is just I think Texas defense is
legit. I agree.
So good. It's 11.5 now.
Yeah.
That defense is very, very good. But I agree with you in terms of Texas. We've seen them struggle
is big
against,
during this time of the year,
especially against Georgia's, obviously. And Clemson's defense isn't great. It's not like their old Clemson defenses, but they have some guys on there, some playmakers, and if they can apply pressure to Quinn, he hasn't played as well since his injury mid-season. So it's going to be very interesting. I think Texas should take care of business, as I believe Penn State will also take care of business. For SMU, obviously it's a Cinderella season. It's an amazing season, first-year ACC. Go to the ACC championship. They've already had a better ACC career than Miami, and they're already in the playoffs. So, but I think they're going to meet their ends. They're going to play a very, very good Penn State team in Penn State. It's going to be cold. It's going to be a whiteout game. It's going to be a different atmosphere that they've ever faced. And, it's obviously it's home field advantage for a reason.
Exactly.
And I think the way that if Penn State, if their offense plays like the way they played against Oregon, they should have no problem scoring. It's now whether their defense is going to play like they played against Oregon and had holes everywhere. So, but it's weird because their defense has been good all year. So it's going to be interesting, those two. But I think for me, the Tennessee Ohio State game is very interesting because the last time we saw Ohio State, they go and lose to Michigan in the most embarrassing loss in honestly probably in top 5 embarrassing loss in their entire history of our program. And then so we haven't seen how they play, how they're going to bounce back from that.
Right.
To play a Tennessee team which has had its ups and downs this year, but you know they beat Bama. Yeah. Their only losses are it's Georgia and then the Vandy loss, or not Vandy, Arkansas. So I'm a big believer in this Tennessee team. I think that defense is legit, and I think Nico's super young, but at this point he's played so many big games that I think it's going to help him.
Yep. It's
going to be an uphill battle, obviously, because it is in the horseshoe. Talking about environment, that's going to be an insane environment. Yeah. I think, unless they're deflated from Michigan, which at this point, if you can't get up for a playoff game, I don't know what to tell you. So it's going to be crazy, but I think Tennessee has a really good chance to upset Ohio State in that game. I think that's going to be a good matchup. And
Ohio State's 7.5 point favorites in that game.
I love it. I already took 7.5. Tennessee's plus 7.5. So I like that. And then Notre Dame, Indiana. Everyone wrote off Indiana after the Ohio State loss. I think Indiana's still very good. I mean, Kurt Cignetti just won Coach of the Year, rightfully so, totally deserved it. And I think that team, you know, if Rourke's playing well, I think that team can compete with almost everybody. Like I think that there's probably a level in terms of like the Oregon's, Georgia's, probably still Ohio State and like Penn State, but I think Indiana can compete with anybody else. Yeah. Like and I think Notre Dame is a team that their defense is best in the country, so it's going to be very tough. But their offense, I think Indiana could actually keep that game pretty close. So I don't know. That's another one that's going to be tough. It's an uphill battle because that's going to be another crazy environment in Notre Dame. But
Notre Dame
I think Indiana can do it.
Squish them.
So I've also got Indiana plus 7.5. Wow. I like the dogs in those games. So.
All right. So then I guess what we could do for this week is make our picks for this week, right?
Yeah.
And then do we want to do a full bracket?
We can do a full bracket now.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go. Do you want to go all bowl season, or do you want to just go strictly playoffs?
All bowl season.
Like you can pick some, I guess, from.
Let me see. For the whole, I mean, we can do the games. We can do the bowl games this week.
The thing is with the bowl games, like you don't know who's playing in it with all the stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's tough.
Focus on the playoffs, and that way it's like a pretty like for the most part, everyone's gonna play.
Yeah. All right, I like that.
Half the teams are either starting
Yeah. All right, we'll do that in a bracket. So.
Okay.
All right. So.
Well, you said you're Indiana Notre Dame pick.
So I'm Indiana plus 7.5. I am Indiana plus 7.5. I am also Tennessee plus 7.5. I am Penn State minus 8.5. And I don't know what to pick in this Texas game. I might take the under. I don't know. Come back to me on that one.
Well, I am pretty much the same outside of Notre Dame. As much as I'm rooting for Indiana, I think Notre Dame's defense is just going to be too much. I think Indiana keeps it close through the half, and then I don't know if Indiana will be able to muster up enough offense against this Notre Dame defense. And I really do think it's one of those games that if Indiana can stay close and force some turnovers on Notre Dame, they could hang and kind of shift the momentum in that game and take the crowd out of it. But part of me just thinks like Notre Dame has just been rolling really pretty much.
They've been hot.
You know, all year outside of that one loss, that bad loss that they had. But they got it out of their system, and they've just been playing really well. Like they look very dominant on defense. So I'm going to take Notre Dame to cover the 7. So -7 Notre Dame. I'm also Penn State minus 8.5. Ohio State, Tennessee. I am also Tennessee covering. I almost want to take Tennessee money line.
I'm tempted to,
but I'll take them to cover, and then I'm definitely not going to take Clemson to win, but I am going to take them to cover the 12.
Okay, Clemson
plus 12.
All righty.
I wish I had some crazier upset picks in there, but I mean, I think this is where some of these good teams just really shine, you know?
Yeah. Pooch, you got yours?
Notre Dame, -7.
God, of course. Always fading me, Pooch. Good.
Penn State -8.5.
Boo.
In the Clemson Texas game, I got 2 picks. I got Clemson to cover, and I got the under.
Okay, Clemson plus 12. What's under what?
51.5.
0.5.
And then
I'm gonna join you on that.
And Tennessee, Ohio State. I'm just gonna take the over there.
What is it?
46.5.
Over 46.5. Okay, cool.
Give me the under in the Notre Dame Indiana game.
What is that at?
51.5.
Damn, under 51.5 too. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Let me get one more pick in.
Oh,
Wants to one up me.
Poochie.
Wait,
Okay.
why? You didn't pick?
No. Too bad. Now you got some good picks.
I gotta pick somebody in the Tennessee Ohio State game. Give me Ohio State to cover.
Okay, minus 7.5.
Ah, so you're gonna finally. I was gonna say this guy made all the same picks as me.
No, I picked the under too, and
no, I didn't take any over unders besides the Indiana Notre Dame game.
All right.
So
brackets. All right, let's pull this bracket up.
Yeah.
NCAA football bracket.
With a surprise 13th seed, and this is Miami Hurricanes.
No, yeah, they'd be the easiest out in the playoffs. All right. I already know my picks. You guys ready for this?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna go Tennessee upsetting Ohio State, and then I've got Oregon beating Tennessee to complete that bracket. I've got Texas beating Clemson, and I've got Texas beating Arizona State. So I have Texas, Oregon on that side of the bracket. I've got I want to go Indiana so bad.
Trust your heart.
Give me Indiana to beat Notre Dame the first round, and then give me Georgia to advance. Give me Penn State to beat Boise State, or SMU, then to beat Boise State. So it's going to be Penn State versus Georgia. And then I'm going to have a rematch of the Big Ten Championship. I'm going to have Oregon versus Penn State. And then I'm going to have Penn State winning the entire thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Let's see. Ooh, this is tough. Give me Texas as well over Arizona State. Okay. Give me Tennessee over Ohio State too.
Wait, so you've got Texas over Clemson, Texas over Arizona.
Actually, give me Ohio State over Tennessee.
Okay. Ohio State.
I do have Texas over Clemson.
Okay.
Then give me Penn State over SMU.
Okay.
Give me Notre Dame over Indiana.
Okay.
Then let's get to the second round. We are going to pick Texas over Arizona State as well. Then we're going to pick, let's see here, Penn State over Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to take Notre Dame over Georgia.
Okay, I like that. I was tempted to do that.
I think their defense might make Carson Beck's life a living hell.
If he even plays.
He
might not play that game. You know what?
Uh-oh.
It's a good point because he might not play.
Yeah.
Like supposedly he might not play this game.
It's crazy.
And that backup quarterback did not look good.
No, he didn't.
He died.
No, but he's gonna play. The backup was fine.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He was fine. He was gonna come in the next play. He was just got his cage rattled, but he's fine. Beck is the one he couldn't even move his arm. Beck,
yeah.
I would be
something
shocked
with his elbow.
I would be shocked if Beck played that game.
And I think it's his throwing arm, right?
Oh God, but I really want to go with Indiana, but I like the Notre Dame into the Final Four play, to be honest. All right, fine. I'll just keep it as is. Whatever. Movie.
So then we got okay. So then in our Final Four we have Penn State, Notre Dame, Oregon, and Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Give me Oregon to beat Texas.
Okay.
And then give me.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I gotta take Penn State over Boise State, right?
You don't have to. Take some risk, Dre. I've got Indiana winning.
I know.
Take some risk, Dre.
As much as I can't see, I gotta take Penn State. I just can't see how Boise State could pull it off. And then I got Penn State Notre Dame. Who do I like?
That would be
there?
a great game.
That would be a hell of a game.
That Final Four of Oregon, Texas, whoever, and Penn State.
I think Penn State's offense is legit. I think they have a great running game. They showed that they can hang with a team like Oregon. So give me Penn State again there, and then Oregon's gonna beat
Penn State.
Yeah.
All right. Poochie.
So I'll do the first one. So Ohio State to advance.
Okay.
Texas to advance.
Okay.
Notre Dame and Penn State. All to advance to the second round.
Okay.
After that, I got Oregon beating Ohio State. Give me Arizona State to beat Texas.
Wow, Pooch.
Cam Scatterbo, actually.
All right, I like
Big
that.
fan of him.
I like that.
Cam Scatterbo, bring the power running game back. Give me Notre Dame to beat Georgia.
Okay.
Give me Boise State to beat Penn State.
All right.
And then
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
it's gonna be Notre Dame and Oregon and Chip, and I think Oregon will win it.
All righty.
I like that.
Oregon, Penn State. We all have Oregon going to the championship, so they're going to lose
In the first round.
in the first round.
Yep.
In the second round, I guess. Oregon's got the toughest path, I mean, which is crazy.
They do, but
Oregon's got the toughest path.
They looked the part.
Yeah, they do. No, they're very good. As long as nothing happens, they look like the best team. So
Notre Dame sneaking into the finals would be crazy, bro.
I can see it happen.
I
That
could definitely
defense
see
is
it.
legit. That defense is legit. I think, honestly, like
And
if
I
they
mean,
can
if you
I
just-
think if they get past Indiana, which they should. I mean, they're 7.5-point favorites for a reason. But Georgia, especially if this guy's in play, I only have Georgia in the Final Four because I have Indiana advancing, and then I kind of have Indiana like not being able to handle Georgia.
Right.
So, but I can see Notre Dame winning both games. Like, I just think
And if Clemson can get through Texas, then they got to play Arizona State.
Clemson can go to the Final Four,
Clemson
too.
can make it to the
I
Final
know.
Four too.
But then Arizona State could also get. Arizona
Yeah.
State's a good team, man.
Yeah.
Arizona State's good.
Yeah, that's the game I'm definitely watching this week. I mean, Tennessee over Ohio State would be a pretty big upset considering they're 7.5-point dogs. But
Yeah.
yeah, again, Dabo knows how to play these teams well. That's
Except
what he does
Georgia
well.
Got crushed by Georgia.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I'm hyped.
Hyped,
First
yes,
game's what?
I'm hyped. Friday.
Friday?
First game's Friday, Notre Dame, Indiana, and then we
There
got
you
the 3 games on Saturday. So.
Our brackets could get fucked on Friday, Pooch.
Or
Notre Dame
mine.
loses.
Or mine.
Don't you have
Well,
Indiana
I
winning?
guess, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
Notre Dame
Yeah,
winning.
true. But yeah, I mean,
Friday will be
big day.
Yeah.
A tone setter for the bracket.
yeah.
Is there gonna be like some kind of reward for whoever predicts gets it closest? Like, is there a bracket reward?
Perfect bracket gets. Not per bracket. The winner of the the winner of the bracket.
Sponsored by Chevy.
Yeah.
You got to fix a dent in it.
Yeah.
Have some boiling water in a plunger.
There you go. I don't know. Well, we can think about it.
We'll figure it out.
We can think about it.
Figure it out.
I mean, because there's like a tier system to it too, right? Like based off the weight of
each round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what we can do is we'll just submit it. We can do one of those bracket things. I'm sure there's a bracket thing out there. I'll put our things in there, and then
it'll
the winner
spit out the best
one.
Points.
Spit out the best one. Yeah.
Technology.
Yeah. for us cavemen.
Trying to do the math in my head, I'm like,
yeah.
No.
We can always just make each round like 10, 20, 30, 40.
No, I think the way you said it is 10 times better. Way easier.
Yeah.
Less thinking.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that pretty much does it for this week.
Yes.
We will watch closely the Finns. Oh, wait, another question in the crowd?
Of course it is.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean,
What
the
a
way I
joke.
saw that going.
Brooks and Bryson were terrible.
Terrible.
Today. Terrible.
They missed a
God,
lot
my-
of putts.
My two
Bryson-
moral enemies.
Bryson looks a little fatigued from all those shots over his
Dude,
house. I
like,
would
he
say.
looked terrible today. He looked terrible. So
That course is sick, though, with the lights and all that. Badass.
Yeah.
But yeah, that about does it for today. We'll be rooting for the Finns this week for the last glimpse of hope. If the Colts lose, Broncos, Chargers game,
Yeah.
obviously will have some implications there, and they play each other. But if Colts lose and Dolphins win, just saying.
we're back. We're back.
Just saying. And then, yeah, good college football this week.
Yes.
Can't ask for a better time than Christmas next week.
Yes.
So we'll see you guys next week before. Well, I don't know, actually. That's on Tuesday, and we record on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Oh, we can record Monday, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it could. We'll see.
All right.
We'll
yeah.
see. Maybe we'll see you. Maybe we won't.
Yeah. We won't.
If we don't see you.
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas. Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, too,
Happy
maybe.
New Year.
I mean, we might just.
This year's over.
Sunday will dictate whether or not we
Yeah. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Oh, God.
We'll be recording Monday. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
And we'll be back. And David will be in a UM jersey. What am I saying?
Yeah.
We have to record Monday. Let's go.
Breaking news out of Miami, Florida. David Handel missing.
Buried in a UM jersey. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for tuning in. We will see you guys on the next one. And yeah, that's it. Like, subscribe. Peace.
Yes. Peace.